Lessons from the Gulag. Alexander Solzhenitsyn wrote the Gulag Archipelago years after his release from the USSR's prison system. He was one of the millions of Soviet citizens who were unfairly forced into labor camps under the pretense of being a threat to the greater Soviet Union. Reading the first volume of his attempt to depict the experience of being in a society where corruption and no justice existed was a mental workout of its own. To pay homage to this great literary work, I would like to explain 3 points he makes about how we should live our lives based off his experiences in the Gulag system. The first realization he came to during his initial imprisonment instead of interrogations was accepting the fact he made the decisions which brought him great misfortune, and one can only take true power over a situation only when they see their part in its creation. During the mass arrest in 1918 through 1930, he wasn't one of the first to go because he was an officer. Yet he knew of the people getting arrested by large numbers. He always had doubts of the state of the USSR, but he never spoke out. When finally arrested himself, foolishly, he thought it was a mistake. Yet he knew deep down the state of Russia being harsh on its own critics or opposition has solidified because of his support of Stalin and Lenin in his early years. He also points out many prisoners lost their wits because they couldn't bring themselves to see their end was brought by the party they supported and still supported even after they felt the repercussions of communism firsthand. The second lesson he learned was that a career and wealth were not meaningful pursuits, but the maturation of your soul was. He states that during those years, many people had poured years of their lives building status, wealth, and careers for all of it to be taken away by corruption and greed. Having his title as officer taken away and being lowered to a camp prisoner revealed to him the importance of developing your mindset and soul rather than how many resources you can hold onto throughout your life. In his words, he states, "Bless you, prison. Bless you for being in my life. For there, lying upon the rotting prison straw, I came to realize that the object of life is not prosperity as we are made to believe, but the maturity of the human soul." The third and final lesson I believe to be of note is he lost his preconception of absolutes of good and evil, and that people are not one or the other, but both. He recognized that many prisoners were themselves once the ones benefiting from the evil done in the work camps, and then they were great advocates for prisoners when they became prisoners themselves. It seemed to him people are utterly blind to the consequences of their actions, and each human only does what is best for them based off the experiences they have lived. Not one human is to blame for the atrocities experienced, but everyone individually is responsible for their part in not being more aware of the evil that is within themselves. That we are mediums which evil can transmit through when we allow ourselves to get comfortable and become ignorant, which doesn't make us evil, but capable of it. He also comments that because we aren't inherently good or evil, it isn't clear how to eradicate the problem of evil in the world. As he eloquently puts it, if only it were all so simple, if only there were evil people somewhere insidiously committing evil deeds, and it were necessary only to separate them from the rest of us and destroy them. But the line dividing good and evil cuts through the heart of every human being, and who is willing to destroy a piece of his own heart? Therefore, instead of attempting to destroy evil, which is an impossible feat, we must be aware of it and control it through our vigilance. These are the lessons from the Gulag. Learn from them because millions suffered so they may reach your blessed mind. Thank you, Alexander, and the people of the USSR for your suffering. If you enjoyed the artwork during this episode, please check out the Gulag collection by Nikolai Getman from the Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation. on artandaesthetics.com.